The following program is a presentation of Jez Sports.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome again to the Main Event Podcast. Today we are looking at New Japan Pro Wrestling, The New Beginning in Osaka. My name's Dan, the champion, as always, joined by Jeremy. How you doing, Jeremy?
I'm doing very well, yes. I was surprised you didn't, throw some shade in there with Jez, the not champion, or something like that. But
Jez, the pretending to be the TNA heavyweight champion.
It is a cool belt. You've got to give me that at least.
It is a cool belt.
It's a very
Your
nice
only
design.
belt.
Yes, it is my only belt, but it's a good one. Some of my favourite people have worn that belt, so there you go. Anyway, digression. We are here, as you mentioned, for the New Beginning in Osaka. They had many new beginnings. They had one in Sapporo, and I think they had two in Sapporo. And I think they even had some roads to new beginnings and stuff. So they're not quite sure when the new beginning is or where it is, but this is the one that we're going to talk about.
Yes.
And it was a particularly good one, if I may say that off the bat. I think it was 8 matches in total that we are going to look at today. And it's the second New Japan Pro Wrestling event that we have covered on this podcast. So far, we're on a 100% streak of excellent events. So hopefully, this one can also be in that excellent category, and that will keep the 100% streak going. We shall see. Let's get on with it then. First match up was Toru Yano, and Oscar Lube versus United Empire's Great Khan and Aaron Henare. Opening kind of fair, nothing too exciting.
Nothing too fancy. It was an opening. It was an opening.
Yeah, and in my limited experience of New Japan so far, it does seem that they have a very good. I don't know if they do it deliberately and they tell people to kind of build in this way, but it does seem like they have basic match to begin. And then each match kind of builds all the way through the card. Yeah. It didn't quite happen actually in Wrestle Kingdom because the Osprey and
that kind of
Kenny
stole
Omega
the
match.
limelight.
It's kind of stole it, but it was at the end. So as long as it's in that kind of last section, I think it's allowable. But they do build the event as you go. If you tune in late, you're not going to be going, "Oh, I missed the best match on the opening." I don't think it's going to happen. I had as my only negative that this was a match that happened. There
was one thing I did put that was just funny was the punch up the bum.
That is in my pros as well, yes.
That's just a funny bit.
Bumhole punch. I'm surprised that he was able to finish the match, actually, after that kind of cataclysmic assault.
It harkened back to me for Nia Jax saying, "Ow, my hole."
My hole! Yes. Yeah.
I'm surprised that didn't happen.
I enjoyed the dominance of United Empire. That's kind of what they're supposed to do. So cool. I guess there's been a bit of shuffling going on because I didn't think that Aaron Henare bloke was in United Empire when he was in that big over the top rope battle royal in at Wrestle Kingdom. I could be wrong.
Yeah, apparently he is.
He's there now.
At least.
That's all we know. Yeah. So not a huge amount to discuss here. Standard opening fare.
Yep.
Let's get straight into predictions. We both predicted victory for United Empire. I think it was fairly inevitable, really.
Yeah.
So we start this contest, as we always like to, as the ones.
All right, Jay.
Yee. Moving on swiftly. Tomoaki Honma, Shota Umino, and Tiger Mask, and Ryusuke Taguchi, actually, 4 of them, versus Los Ingobernables de Japón, the team of Tetsuya Naito, Sanada, Hiromu Takahashi, and Bushi.
I'm glad you said those names. Not me, not the dyslexic over here.
Yeah, don't think you want to tackle that for the next ones?
No.
No? Okay. Well, tackle the match. What did you think of it?
It was all right. I wouldn't say it was amazing, but it was all right.
This was firmly a building something for the future kind of match for me. I really liked the work that the commentary team did, telling the story of Umino versus Naito and using it to build up the New Japan Cup that's upcoming. You know, Umino wants to be in one bracket and he wants Naito to be in the other bracket, so they meet in the final. It's a nice bit of story. I also liked Honma lubing himself up to escape submissions. And I liked, again, that the commentators reference that.
Yeah.
It was like, you know, he said that he had a plan to escape the whatever move it was with the arm tying and whatever it was. I didn't catch the name of it.
I can't remember it.
But it did the job. He just went and slipped right out of it. And that was the point of that. So cool. And then the
fact that all of them after like touching him are all just there like just doing this.
Yeah. And then I also liked the conversation that happened of so who do you think was the slickest, the oiliest wrestler in history? And then right at the end of the match, just as everyone was like, "Oh, I've got it! It's Lex Luger." I'm like, right, okay, fair enough. Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't get to him earlier. I mean, I'm sure it's actually Michael Nakazawa, who doesn't really wrestle anymore, is just part of, the Elite's entourage. But he used to just take an entire bottle with him and just put it everywhere. So I'm sure it's him that's the greasiest.
Probably.
Yeah, and then afterwards, really, it was just the Leo Rush video package. That was cool, and setting up another match for the junior championship, and then the comedy of Naito at the end, like being really suspicious of the commentator and being like, prove you're not Leo Rush, pull down your mask, and just the ridiculous of asking a Japanese guy to prove he's not a black American guy.
Yeah.
Just tickled me. It probably shouldn't. It's quite juvenile, but it tickled me. So there you go.
You are juvenile, considering I saw what you put on Twitter the other day about the Formula One car.
Yeah. I am juvenile. Yeah.
You are. You are.
Any negatives in this match for you?
I didn't really have any negatives, just because it happened and it was just. Yeah. My
only negative, really, and I'm not sure how much this will mean to you as the young pup that you are, but Taguchi wiggling all the time reminded me of WCW superstar Norman Smiley.
I know the name.
I
don't know anything else.
Basically, he's just a dude with a massively receding hairline that wiggled a lot, and it traumatized me as a teenager, to be honest. I just stop wiggling. It's creeping me out. Yeah. So I was having flashbacks to him, and that was highly negative as far as I was concerned. So
fair enough.
I hope I never see Taguchi ever again. On that note, predictions.
Yep.
Unfortunately for you, you went with the Honma Umino Mask Taguchi team and didn't pick up a point. I went for Los Ingobernables, so I got a point. Brings me to a 2. A thank you.
But I'm still the 1.
That's fine. So the next match, you might be able to have a go at the names if you fancy it.
Oh, Christ. I didn't write the full names because I couldn't be bothered to write them down. I put Watto versus Ishimori.
Okay, well, you got those pretty spot on. Yeah, Master Watto versus Taiji Ishimori. Perfect.
There you
go. I don't have any negatives for this one.
No.
I was expecting more from it, actually. I was expecting this to be a bit of a show stealer based on what we saw of Master Watto at Wrestle Kingdom, but it was fine. I've got no negatives, so it can't have been bad. I liked the very quick start.
Yeah,
and
that's what I've got.
And then I liked Watto being missiled off the ring post.
Yes,
that was cool. The cameraman did a really good job of capturing the dive over the top rope.
Yes,
I thought that was a great shot of just literally the top of the rope and him flipping out like that. That takes some work to get that perfect on a fast moving person.
Yeah.
And I liked how close the near falls were. Really.
Yeah.
But other than that, it came, it went, it was a match.
Yeah.
Anything to add?
No.
On this one, you'll be pleased to hear that I went for Master Watto for the win, so I will not be getting a point here, whereas you will, as somebody who went for Taiji Ishimori. So, thank you. I'm still a 2.
Thank you.
And so are you. Yes.
Or you can be the Schism.
Oh yeah, that's another one. There's a lot of this, isn't there? There's a lot of 2 related things in.
Although the
in
Schism
wrestling.
have kind of not appeared on TV for a while.
Yeah, they've been in the background, like backstage.
Yeah, but that's about it.
Yeah, can't say
ever since The Rock's daughter appeared.
She didn't really fit the stable. Anyway, digression. Next matchup. Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Kenta. You kick us off. What?
I will kick us off.
What did you think of this one?
So, I thought it was a good start. Good start to the match. I liked with the whole weapon thing that they actually got rid of the ref.
Yeah. It was. I'm not convinced about the officiating in New Japan. I can't quite understand why nobody ever gets disqualified, because they do take massive liberties quite a lot.
That's why I was quite surprised to see that, we're actually going to get rid of the ref.
Yeah, but we don't need a ref anymore. We'll take
sort it out ourselves.
Yeah. What else?
I thought you were going to say something then. It was a good match.
Yeah, it was decent enough. I've got positives and negatives.
Okay.
I liked the gigantic slaps from Kenta. They were huge. I liked the crossbody to set up the win, and then another crossbody, but more as a crossbody splash to finish the job from Tanahashi. I thought that was quite good. But then on the other side, I did feel like this was quite slow. Both of these guys are carrying lingering problems that seem to be slowing them down as time goes on. Yeah. Kenta's shoulder is still dodgy from when he was in NXT, and that was years ago.
Many moons ago.
Yeah, and obviously Tanahashi has just taken too many bumps and is limping around everywhere. But
Tanahashi's got to do a retirement thing soon, hasn't he?
It didn't sound like that was the plan, the way they were talking. Obviously he's going to have the title shot at the San Jose event. I kept saying Los Angeles last week. It's San Jose. I don't think he's going to last as long as the Great Muta has, which seemed to be his goal, being that the Great Muta can walk better than him now, as he is retiring and is 20 years older. So sorry, Tanahashi. I think your career is probably going to be cut short.
I think which
is a shame, because I love the dude. Obviously he's a huge Kamen Rider fan, so he's a man after my heart. He's worn many a Kamen Rider themed outfit for big events. So
it's
a shame, but decent match for what they could do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we will move into predictions. I went with Tanahashi, so I will be picking up a point there and taking me to a firm 3. You went with Kenta. You get nothing. You stay on 2. Next up, then. Never Openweight 6-man tag team championship. The House of Torture, which was the team of Evil, can't even say evil, Yujiro Takahashi and Sho, against the, at the time, unnamed team of Minoru Suzuki, El Desperado, and Ren Narita. They've got a name now. It's just, what did they say? Strong, strong style.
Strong style, I think, strong style. With Crazy Suzuki.
Yeah. Well, actually, that segues quite nicely into into one of my pros for this match. The speed at which Minoru Suzuki moved. He was moving very quickly, proving that Psycho Grandpa is indeed timeless.
Yeah.
Unlike, his cohorts.
Yeah.
I don't think we're seeing his retirement tour anytime soon.
No.
So that's cool. He's a good dude. I've quite grown to quite enjoy him. He's got Kamen Rider links as well. While we're talking about people with Kamen Rider, he was in like the first episode of Kamen Rider Revice, I think, or something.
Was he?
Yeah. Go back and watch it. He was in it. I think he was like one of the people that were stamped and turned into a bad guy or something like that.
Wow, I'm gonna go look at that.
I think it was either Revice or 01. He's been in a series recently. Google it. It's quite fun. What did you like about this match?
I quite liked the ambush before the actual match. That was quite good, and it was basically a mugging. And I like the fact that it took ages for him to actually get back into the ring, like actually get to the ring. It was a decent, a long length of time.
Oh yeah, and it was a decent, mugging as you called it. So it should have taken him a long time to recover from that.
Yeah. See, if his was like WWE or AEW, he would have been in within the first 5 seconds. Yeah. Whereas this actually was like, yes, he's actually hurt himself. There's that. Suzuki trying to bring a normal chair in. Yeah.
Any weapon's a weapon, and he will go with whatever chair you would like.
Yeah, bring whatever.
Yeah. And I like the banter really at the beginning of the House of Torture didn't want to put the titles on the line. They said that they weren't going to put the titles on the line because they couldn't find the belts. So sorry about that. We can't find the belts, so we can't defend them.
That's the best excuse I've ever heard.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't get away with it, to be honest with you. But they were told they would be stripped if they didn't. So miraculously, they must have looked in the wardrobe or something.
What's a surprise? Here they are.
Oh, they were right in front of us the whole time. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess we'll just ambush them instead and try and do it that way.
Yeah.
And I feel like this was probably the best babyface comeback match I've seen in a very long time.
Yeah.
All looked absolutely lost for this team right at the beginning.
Yeah.
And for the majority of the match, but then they slowly came back. They did their best. They ganbarade and all that good Japanese stuff, and they won out in the end, which was nice.
Yeah.
Less nice though for predictions, because we both went with House of Torture for the win here, and we're both dead wrong. Happy to be wrong here because I'm quite happy to see Psycho Grandpa with a belt. So
good old Psycho Grandpa.
Yeah, we love him. So I'm still on 3, you're still on 2, and we move into what was the meat of this event. There's that. It's usually a 6-man tag that is the turning point, and then from there we're like, right, now let's get to the main event stuff.
Let's do it.
And this could have been the main event, frankly.
This really could have been. Loser
leaves Japan match. Jay White with Gedo versus Hikuleo with what was that guy called?
Jado.
Jado. I don't know what the story is there, but
so we have Grado and Jado.
Well, no, it's Gedo
and
Jado, and then obviously you've got the Scottish guy Grado.
Yes.
And then you've got Umino. We've got loads of O's. Yeah.
O's. Chris Jericho.
Yeah. Phantasmo.
Yes. El Desperado.
Sho.
Yujiro
Takahashi,
Yujiro.
but still Yujiro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a lot of O's.
Great O. Khan.
Great O. Yeah.
Mm. You know, the big O from back in the day. Yeah. Yeah. Keiji Muto. Yeah. Yeah. Hikuleo, you know, in this match.
Yeah. I think so. In New Japan Pro Wrestling, to become big is to have a name ending in O.
Which is why they're getting rid of Jay White, because his name did not match that criteria.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. He'll be back in a few years as Jay Whiteo, and then, you know, back to the main event he goes. It's going to be wonderful. Yeah. Yes. I'm not sure how well this last 2 minutes of the podcast will play for our audience, but let us know. Answers on a postcard.
Please tell us how much rubbish we are talking.
Yeah. I have many, many positives for this match and 0 negatives.
Go.
And I'm gonna have to swear for this one because I can't think of another way to say it. So
go for it.
Children, cover your ears. Jay White playing the chicken shit heel role.
Yeah, baby.
I couldn't really think of a way to describe what he was doing other than chicken shit heel, because
you have described it perfectly.
That is what it is, and I thought it was wonderful. He played that role perfectly. And I think that is the role that we will probably see him playing in maybe WWE, probably WWE. I don't think he's going to AEW. They had their chance and didn't do anything with him, so I don't think that he'll be interested in going back there personally. Likewise, Impact, they definitely had their chance with him and blew that. So, yeah. Anyway, launching Jay White over the announce table. That was cool.
Yep.
Hikuleo, you know, leaning into that big man role that the Japanese love, and he's going to really lean into going forward. Yeah. And then Jay White shoulder barging Hikuleo into the barricade, and Hikuleo just landing on the back of his head. There was really no chance for adjustment or selling that. Just no, you legit land on the back of your head, and we'll make it look good. And they did.
Just take it, man.
Yeah, just take it. The thing that surprised me, but it was super cool, Jay White powering Hikuleo around. Like, you look at Jay White, and you kind of think same kind of ilk as Adam Cole. Not a big guy, but Adam Cole, Bebe, indeed, yeah. Not a big guy. Leans more into his technical wrestling ability. Not really a person you expect to be powering around the big guys and putting them on your shoulder and slamming them, but he did. And I've never noticed what an epic six-pack Jay White has had before.
It's like a washboard.
It is, yeah.
You could grate cheese off it. Like, when
you think of the great six-packs of wrestlers ever, you would obviously think Finn Balor first. And second run in NXT Finn Balor, that was, chiseled then. And now Jay White. I'm like, where did that come from? Has it always been there? Did I just not notice?
It's like granite.
It is, yeah. Yeah, he's got abs on top of where his abs actually are. That's how much ab he has. Anyway, moving on, before this becomes some kind of homoerotic podcast.
There'll be the wrong kind of people tuning in.
Heel tactics is what I like next. Remove the turnbuckle, distract the ref, use the chair. It's simple, it's effective. I enjoyed it. The massive... This is just a list of cool stuff that was in the match, by the way, in case you hadn't worked that out by now. The dirty chops that Hikuleo delivered completely take Jay White off his feet, just completely annihilate him. That was good. He couldn't set up the Blade Runner because Hikuleo was dead weight. I just loved the realism of that. He didn't try and lean into it and help Jay White to get him up or anything. It's just, no, you can't do your finisher because I weigh too much and I'm dead weight. Deal with it.
Yeah.
That was pretty nice. And then the nice moment at the end, the acknowledgement, the too sweet, and then choke slam you're
Damn.
done. Bye-bye, Jay White. Or at least...
Over to WWE.
Yeah, I mean, after this weekend, because...
Oh, yeah, well, after this weekend,
there's an event in America, so he can still do that one, and he's going to. And yeah, they're wasting Jay White's last match on Eddie Kingston.
Oh.
Yeah.
I nearly swore then.
You did, yeah. Yeah, you've got to warn the kiddies to earmuffs if you're going to do that.
Yeah. Well, you know exactly what we... what everyone... If everyone's regular tuning into this, they know what we think of Eddie Kingston.
Mm.
And the word I was going to say is something beginning with F.
Yeah. I don't think that Eddie Kingston is a worthy final opponent for Jay White. Should have just left it with Hikuleo and moved on.
Yes.
That is my long list of pros for this match. Do you have any to add, or have you found a negative somewhere that you would like to discuss?
No, you've basically summed it up, and you basically talked about the thing that I put last of where does Jay go, and it's going to be WWE, and I just pray to God WWE doesn't mess him up.
Yeah. I did, while I was watching it actually, and you may want to hear it, it did have an epic debut story in WWE for Jay White. Do you want to hear it?
Oh, go for it.
So, everyone is expecting for Jay White to just come in and go straight to the main roster, right? You wouldn't put Jay White in NXT.
No.
Well, I would, but here is how I would do it, okay? So, Jay White debuts, and in some fashion, I don't know if they want to try and do it at Stand and Deliver or just on an episode of NXT, Jay White comes in, challenges Bron Breakker for the NXT Championship, beats him, just shocks the world, and Bron Breakker is without championship, goes up to the main roster himself.
Yeah.
The story is Jay White knows that he shouldn't be in NXT, knows that he should have debuted and gone straight to the main roster, but wants an easy ride and is going to game the system. It's like, no, I wanted to come straight in and win a championship. So I've come in here. I've beaten Bron Breakker. I'm the NXT champion, and I'm going to be the NXT champion for the rest of time because nobody can touch me.
Yeah.
And so then the story is Jay White defending himself against a bunch of baby faces who are coming to get rid of him from NXT because he shouldn't be in NXT.
Okay.
That's how I would
watch that.
Debut Jay White. Because the thing is, a very small portion of the audience are going to know who Jay White is. So although, yes, you can just debut him on the main roster and then expect people to catch up and find out who he is, you can give him some story in NXT that makes people hate him because he's a much better heel than babyface.
Yes.
And then when they do bring him up to the main roster, to face Cody for the Universal Championship or Undisputed Championship or whatever it is, when he has won it from Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, then it'll mean more. Yeah. So that's how I would bring Jay White to WWE. Send him to NXT because he shouldn't be in NXT.
Yes.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good plan, actually.
So they can't use it now because I've thrown it out there, and apparently that's the rule. If somebody's already said it, you can't use it. So
you're not allowed to use it.
Yeah. Now, obviously, we both went with Hikuleo for the win here. We kind of knew what was going to happen in terms of Jay White on his way out of the company.
Yeah.
Takes me to 4. Takes you to 3.
Trez.
And we may progress to the next contest, which was Never Openweight Championship. Tama Tonga defending against El Fantasmo. That is still a terrible name.
Yes.
Yeah, it does not really suit that guy at all, but there you go.
Yeah.
In a word, how did you find this match?
Okay.
Yeah. It's one of the few matches on this card that I have equal numbers of pros and cons. Certain parts of it I enjoyed, certain parts of it I did not like. But over to you first.
Great.
What did you like about it?
So the outside of the ring stuff,
Mm-hmm.
as always. It was quick, but it was also hard hitting.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So that is, the point of this open weight dealio.
Yeah.
Where it is they can do the flippy dippy stuff but still can go with the big guys, which I quite like that
Yeah.
sort of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, I do like an open weight championship. It only works if you actually have, defined weight classes for the rest of your championships, which is why it works so well in New Japan, because they have a very clear progression from junior heavyweight to heavyweight. So yes, that's really good. Yeah, I liked the outside of the ring stuff. Phantasmo just leaping the barricade. Tama Tonga literally landing in the lap of a fan. And then nobody wanting to sit there for the rest of the evening. That was pretty funny. Like,
I don't blame them.
We've been burned. I don't think I trust them not to sit on my lap again. Yeah.
I'd be like, I'm staying here.
Yeah, you can jump on me. I don't care. Yeah.
Yeah. It makes me part of the show.
What else did you like?
I liked the J Driller.
The finisher.
Yeah, the J Driller. That was a good finisher to end it, and the way he kind of, little respect to Jay, which was nice.
I liked that he used it.
Mm.
I did not like the move because he dropped El Phantasmo on his neck. Like, it was a botched move, and that is a move that you do not botch.
No.
I think LP got very lucky there. But yes, a move of many names. Obviously, it's the double underhook pile driver is what it is actually called, but it's also the Tiger Driver 98.
Yes, they did mention that, didn't they? They said it's a Tiger Driver 98, but it will probably be known as the J Driller from now on. Which,
it's
fair enough.
Nice
Why not?
Nice bit of respect. Anything else that you liked?
No, there's a few things I didn't like.
Okay, we'll get to those in a moment. Let me just rattle off some of the things I liked. I liked the damaging of Tama Tonga's hand to the point that it hurt to punch El Phantasmo. That was good. Good ring psychology, I guess, and like damaging your opponent as the match progressed. That was good. And generally I liked that they wore each other down. It just descended into a brawl in the end because they just made it more and more personal as the match went on, and the strikes got harder. I liked Tonga's like standing up with Phantasmo on his shoulders and turning it into a TKO. That showed a lot of strength and a lot of skill and ability. That was cool. And I liked the number of near falls that we got from non-finishers.
Yes.
If you've tuned into the show before, you know my thoughts on kicking out of finishers, but the amount of non-finishers that they did, and they were very, very close near falls. That's how you do that. I thought that was excellent.
Yeah.
What didn't you like then?
Well, this is going back to the New Japan Pro Wrestling thing of the refs. These guys were outside the ring for a flipping long time. And the ref didn't even count them out. He didn't even start counting. It was like, come on, dude.
That's not the worst thing that the referee did in this match. My negative in this match was that the referee actually counted a 3 count because Tama Tonga didn't kick out in time. And then after hitting the mat for a 3rd time, Tama Tonga kicked out and they were like, 2. Like, No.
Everyone was just like, oh, damn it.
It was just such a weak botch for 2 guys who really are better than that. And for the referee, like, you don't actually count it unless it's the finish. Like, come on, guy. It's not that difficult. Anything else you didn't like?
You basically said it earlier. It was the finishers not finishing.
Yeah. Kicking out of sudden death, I didn't like that,
Right.
especially because he kicked out so weakly, and kicking out of the gun stun. Like, yes, there were lots of near falls from non-finishers, but there were also near falls from finishers, and one of those things I like, one of those things I do not. So there you go. I think it could have been better. I think both of these guys would want this match back and to do it again. Yeah. To be honest with you, I don't think I'm being harsh in saying that these guys can do better. I don't mean that in a negative kind of way. Really, it's just not every match is perfect, and that's okay. No. But I think these guys will be disappointed with that performance. Personally, I am not disappointed with my prediction. Neither are you, because we both went with Tama Tonga for the retention. Takes me to 5. 5. Takes you to 4.
4 horsemen.
And we move swiftly into the main event. As our technology on this episode has broken around us. Hopefully we can get through this last match. So as we all send bullying vibes to Dan to buy a new laptop, we move into the main event of the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Kazuchika Okada versus Shingo Takagi. Some confusing things in this match for me. And it's my only negative, really.
Go.
And I'm not even sure it's negative. It's just I'm confused. Okada playing the heel?
Yeah.
And Takagi being a babyface?
Yeah.
I don't really know what's going on there.
No.
And I tried to like research it after the fact, because obviously I'm not hardcore into New Japan Pro Wrestling like a lot of people are. I feel like I've got a fairly decent passing knowledge, but I had no real idea why Okada was playing the heel. And the only thing I could find, and it was a very old article, was that apparently certain sectors of the Japanese fandom are a bit fed up of Okada in that he's a John Cena kind of character. Okay. He always wins. He's the Superman character that always wins, and they're a bit fed up with him. Yeah. But that was quite an old article, and so it might have taken a while to really get bored of him, I guess. But yeah, I couldn't reconcile it in my head why Okada was playing the heel and why he was being a bit cocky and a bit harsh around the edges with Takagi. It wasn't white meat babyface of him, which is entirely the character that he's playing. But yeah, other than that, everything was pretty positive. Yeah, a little bit slow this match. Yeah, not the most exciting, high flying technical affair. Not that you'd expect that from Okada.
No.
What did you like about it?
Technical start. Very technical start. That went on for a while. I did quite like the darker Okada.
I was going to say, I didn't dislike it. I was just confused by it. I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, and Okada taking shots. Standing there like a brick wall and just taking stuff. Love that.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at the roster of New Japan and you kind of think, who is the Antonio Inoki style, strong style, big take it kind of guy, it is Okada. And maybe that's why they are starting to heal him up a little bit. It's because he needs to become that old guard that's kind of gatekeeping the old strong style ways a little bit, possibly. I'm just trying to find reasons why they were doing that, because it wasn't clear. It wasn't clear why Okada was slowly turning heel.
You're trying to justify it, aren't you?
I am trying to justify it, yeah. And again, I'm not mad at it. I want answers, damn it. I want to know what's going on.
God damn it.
I want things explained to me, and there was no explanation given. Perhaps the Japanese commentators were explaining it, and it's just a memo that wasn't passed to the English commentators. Who knows?
Maybe.
But yeah, we'll see. He's got another match this week against Tanahashi in America, so maybe they'll have done their homework and it will be explained there. I don't know.
Maybe.
Other positives from me, it was mostly the outside the ring stuff that I liked. The Death Valley driver outside the ring, that was dirty. The Tombstone pile driver outside the ring, that was also dirty. Not a huge fan of people using the Tombstone pile driver for obvious reasons, but it seemed okay here. And I felt like there was a big build in this match. It just got rougher and rougher and rougher, and it built up to one final knockout rainmaker. It was a very hard fought win, and it built all the way through to a brutal conclusion, and there was a lot of respect in Okada's speech at the end, giving Takagi his props. They'll do this again, I'm sure. It was decent enough, I think. And that takes us to our final prediction of the day. We both went with Kazuchika Okada, obviously. John Cena always wins. And that takes me to 6 to finish the day. That is it? 6? Can't remember how we did 6. And it takes you to 5 to finish the day.
So seeing as he's the John Cena, I can do that.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. I'll do that. It's not quite the same.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
It does not work, no. It makes me look daft, though, and people like that. So there you go. Which means on our merged 2 quarters leading us to a final climax at WrestleMania, my score to date is 39. Your score to date is 40.
Oh, you're closing it.
Yeah, so you came in ahead by 2. Obviously, there's a difference of 1 today. And there's a lot of wrestling still to go before WrestleMania, so...
Elimination Chamber is next.
Yes, it is. That is where we're going next. Very nice, neat segue. That will be where we are for the show next week. But first, before we get there, it's time to give this show a rating, Dan.
Yeah.
And so, as a mark of respect to our fallen hero, I would like you to give me a score out of 5 loser leaves Japan matches, please.
Oh. Now, I thought I enjoyed this. I'll put it there. I enjoyed this pay-per-view. Was it amazing? No. So I think I'm going to go 3.5.
I thought you might say that, and I am going to agree with you. I'm going to give it 3.5 as well. Yeah, I mean, obviously, we really enjoyed Wrestle Kingdom. Like that was a top-notch, high-level event. This was not that. It never claimed to be that or wanted to be that. Even it's it's just another event in a long line of not Wrestle Kingdom events that the New Japan put on. But it was decent. It did the build, went all the way up to the main event, and it was decent enough. There were some things not really worth bothering with, and there were some things that you could eat up all day, so they all balanced out to that 3.5 that you mentioned. I think that's a fair and decent rating. And I feel like I'm soon going to have to stop mooching off other people's and get myself an NJPW World subscription of my own, to be honest. Yeah, one can only mooch so long, and before I have to actually declare, I like New Japan Pro Wrestling and I should give them some money.
Do you still mooch the WWE Network?
Yeah, I do, yeah. I mooch the WWE Network via Peacock. I mooch New Japan stuff. And AEW's on free-to-air television in the UK, so yeah. Don't pay for anything. Mooch it off other people. They pay for it. It is paid for.
Yes.
It's just I don't pay for it.
Yes.
And so I will be using that mooched Peacock subscription to watch the Elimination Chamber this weekend. You will be watching this free podcast. You don't pay for this podcast.
Yeah.
Where we discuss the Elimination Chamber next week. So look forward to that. Should be a good event. There's a bunch of chamber matches and some other cool stuff as well. So stay tuned for that. Road to WrestleMania. All that good stuff.
Yeah.
Until next week, then, I've been Jez.
I've been the champion, Dan.
And this is the Main Event Podcast. We will see you later. Bye.
Bye.